Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
Hump Day edition, the Young and Norvelle Show. So very glad you're with us here. We take it from 4 until 6 here on a Wednesday. And we're glad you're with us here on Action Sports Jax. Of course, hopefully you're following us on a number of social media platforms. Really, the easiest way, bang in our show name, the Young and Norvelle Show, Young Norvelle, Terry Norvelle, Patrick Young, and you can find our show as you have right now. Glad to have you here on a Wednesday. A lot to cover. Certainly, we will continue talking Florida men's basketball. The Gators a couple days removed from their national championship. We've got a bunch of numbers to go over, kind of a look ahead, things like that. Florida State baseball last night. Don't look now, but the Gators, as bad as they're playing in baseball, Florida won last night, and they won the series over FSU. We'll get into that. Take a look at the Jaguars. What happens if Mason Graham is gone? I saw a mock draft today. You know, there's only about 12 mock drafts out there, right? God almighty. I'm about ready to put the phrase mock draft to bed for another year. One mock draft off the Athletic I was reading said they think, and I'm going to turn on my headset here one sec. There we go. One mock draft I was reading from the Athletic, they were saying they wouldn't be surprised if the Giants at 3 grab Mason Graham. What would the Jaguars do? What will the Jaguars do at 5? We'll talk about that as we go. We've got Dr. Aaron Bates, sports medicine discussion. We're going to focus today with Dr. Bates on a couple of sports that are really taking off this time of year. Swimming. And I don't mean competitive swimming, I just mean recreational swimming. And we're all about to get back into the ocean and the pool and the lakes and the rivers, whatever you choose. The swimming motion, just a freestyle swimming motion, that is so non-natural to the construction of that shoulder, the human shoulder and arm. We'll talk about swimming, how risky that is, how stressful that is on the shoulder area. And also, we'll cover another water sport today with Dr. Aaron Bates, surfing. You think, okay, what do you mean shoulders with surfing? You jump up on a surfboard and you balance yourself with your feet and you surf. Well, that's the second part of riding a wave. The first part is you got to paddle out. And think about the way or the stress that's on the shoulders when a surfer is laying on their surfboard and they're paddling out. Man, that is so awkward and so stressful on the shoulder area of the human body. We'll talk some sports medicine with Dr. Aaron Bates from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. We've got Brent Beard checking in about 5:25. We're in kind of what I think is going to be a fun next couple of weeks. You know, a lot of people bitch about the portal, the basketball portal, certainly, because it opened during the tournament. The college football portal will open again on the 15th coming up. That is next Tuesday, I believe it is, really after most of the spring games. I'm looking forward to it. I think any moment now we're going to have a bunch of big announcements with the basketball portal. And then when the college football portal opens up again April 15th, man, it's going to be overlap. I think it's going to be fun. I can't wait. I love the portal. I love the NIL. We'll spin off into another topic I hope to get to before we get out of here today in 2 hours. And I'll read it as I wrote it on my show prep, right here on the page, right here. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Topic 3, hope to get to today. Are there still portal haters out there? Because I bring this up, we just wrapped up college basketball season. It could not have been more exciting. As good a March Madness tournament as a whole as I can ever remember. The Final Four was off the chain. Great games. It was wonderful. College football. We had our first 12-team playoff. Nobody complained that college football last season wasn't fun, wasn't exciting, extra one-and-done games. All the rivalry games were still, I mean, you can't tell me Florida-Georgia was a nutso game here in Jacksonville. Florida State was a fun game. Alabama-Tennessee. I'm picking out games that were non-playoff games in college football. The rivalries didn't go away. Not at all. Not even close. Georgia Tech was fun. Ohio State-Michigan wasn't a playoff game, but it was fun as hell. I bring that up because, once again, you've heard me say it. I'll say it forever. College football and college basketball have never, ever, ever been more popular. Ever. We're going to go over some college basketball numbers, TV numbers that will back this up. Are there still portal haters out there? I think college football and college basketball are in a incredibly strong position, strong place, and getting stronger. We also have got some miscellaneous crazy sports stories I want to get to, including, my goodness gracious, Gainesville, Florida. Okay, the location of the University of Florida, Gainesville, Florida. Zachary, as I welcome you in on a Wednesday, the state of Florida never disappoints, does it? And Florida man. Did you see the viral video? Monday night, Gators win the championship. It's pushing midnight. About 5 billion fans/students take to the streets of Gainesville, right? You know, they just take over streets. You've seen that at all these places.
Yeah, I've definitely seen some of that.
And you see, I'm assuming it's a student. This guy shimmies up the traffic light pole, right? By the way, GPD, Gainesville Police Department, they said they went around and greased all the light poles, which is a normal thing to do sometime in these cities when you're anticipating.
Yeah, you got to grease them.
They said they greased them, most of them all in the main area, obviously University Boulevard and around the O'Connell Center. Where they had 11,355 people packed inside the O'Connell Center. So that was the hub of the area, right? So did you see the guy, grease or not, and he's got to be a student. He shimmies up, gets on, those big poles, they go up, and then they go across because they've got the red lights on them, right? They've got 3 or 4 red lights. So did you see him, Zach? He
I saw him.
He shimmies up.
I'm trying to refund it right now.
Yeah, he shimmies up, then he shimmies across. So he's out dangling on the, just think of it as kind of an L standing up.
Yeah.
So then he decides, I'm going to stand up and start rocking this bad boy. I don't know what his concept was. I'm not really sure if he wanted to snap it.
I think his concept was, I'm hammered, I'm doing this.
I think it was, I'm hammered, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
So he gets jumping up and down, and that thing, and then off he goes. He loses. Can you imagine a drunk guy lost his equilibrium and he stumbled and he fell?
Yeah, it's hard to believe. And usually they've got so much balance. Notorious for having good balance are drunk people.
Yeah, I thought he could tightrope probably all over Gainesville walking on those things, but he goes down. I'm assuming, Zach, it looked like he probably hurt. He didn't get hurt. Medical people came and a friend of his has been interviewed and said no, the guy that fell is fine. He got medical coverage by Gainesville Police Department. I would imagine, though, he fell on a bunch of people, right? There was people everywhere. He probably hurt the people he fell
Yeah,
on.
I would think that would have had to have been, potentially.
How Florida man is that, though? Those Florida man games, they got to add that, man. You got to add the shimmy up the light pole contest, don't you? This guy.
At the next Florida man games?
Oh, got to.
Yeah, for sure.
Got to. Oh, Zach, what was this guy? This poor guy. Oh. And, I'm glad I'm glad he's okay. Even though when people do stupid things like that, I have a hard time feeling sorry for them. If this guy had broken his neck or his back.
Yeah.
I get it. He's
I wouldn't
young.
feel bad I would only feel bad if, potentially they landed on and hurt someone else.
Yeah. That's what I was worried about. That was
and here we go. I managed to
take a look at this. Now there he is.
Down
he goes, Florida man. Down goes Florida man. Oh my God! Can you re-rack it? There he is.
Oh yeah.
He'd shimmied all the way out. He's going to stand up now. See him? See him up there? They got a light on him.
I mean, he did the hard part.
Yeah, that's the hard part. He's been out there for a while, by the way. Now he goes, I'm going to get up. I'm standing up, man. I'm standing. They can't see me, I don't think. Let me rock the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat. Don't tip the boat over. Look at me. I am the king of the world. What could happen? No. Oh!
Yeah.
Man down. Man down.
I mean, what's super tough is that, I mean, of all the people that are in the crowd out there, basically 99% of them, if not all of them, are rooting for literally that to happen.
Absolutely. Jump. Fall. Jump. Right? I mean, if I had a rock, I'd be throwing it at him.
And imagine he did a triple backflip and just dismounted and
my
did a perfect
God.
landing.
But you wonder, well, now at this point, what's he thinking? I mean, what's the plan? Is he like?
I think he either wants to bring it down or he wants to catapult himself into space.
I don't know.
One of those two things.
I don't know. Now, how will he turn this into money? Because every idiot
like
somehow,
Hawk to a girl.
Yeah,
You got to make it a meme coin. You got to make it traffic light coin, traffic coin. It's traffic surfer traffic coin.
Yes.
There you go. The Kelly Slater traffic coin.
There you go. But hopefully it
he
didn't
can
hurt
workshop
him.
it, something like
But
that.
obviously he landed on people. And look where they're. Or how about maybe he was the guy? Maybe he was the rock star that did the crowd dive.
He's definitely a rock star.
Maybe he was the I'm using an analogy. You know, the rock star that
Yeah.
the place is going. He's got the mic and he's running the show. Yo, and he's just the rock star is so excited. The crowd in front of the stage, they're into it. You're into it. You know what? I'm gonna go crowd dive, and the crowd gets out of the way.
Yeah, they don't even. Yeah, they don't catch him. Yeah, that's more or less what happened here.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I think this guy will turn that into money somehow, some way.
I hope so.
Too bad he didn't have a GoPro or something on him.
Oh man, yeah.
That'd been great.
A first person point of view shot. Yeah.
Oh, Florida man. Goodness gracious. Gainesville. They were partying, but I may be wrong here, Zach. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I am a little bit proud of the big Gator crowd in Gainesville post-game on Monday when they won it. I didn't see any cars on fire. I didn't see any police officer cars on fire. I didn't see any violence, which I'm being serious here for a minute. Thank God. I never understand why these places these cities will have these celebrations and they get violent. Why do they get violent?
Yeah, I don't know. That's one of those discussions that we go through.
Mob mentality kind of
yeah,
thing.
it's kind of sad that we've gotten to a point in society where that feels like you need a round of applause or a pat on the head for not burning down your city. But I mean, hey, good for them. They act like they'd.
But there is something about mob mentality. And mob mentality with inducements, alcohol, and drugs. But there's something about. You get a big and there is. I'm being serious for a little bit here. You get a mob together, a mob mentality. There is an energy about that. You know what I mean? There's an energy, and hell yeah, and I just punch you. I don't know you. You didn't do anything to me, but I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Yeah. Once the ball gets rolling, it doesn't. It tends to just keep going in that direction, not backwards.
Yeah, I don't know. But Gators win Monday night. Zach, you and I haven't visited. Did you have Florida winning Monday? I can't remember.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Actually, I rode them. I know we don't like to talk about our parlays, etc.
No, we can. I won $50 off the Gators.
Yeah,
Monday.
there you go. Yeah, I mean, I rode them throughout the whole tournament through a series of bets and parlays. So yeah, I was ready to see the Gators do it. I drank the orange and blue Kool-Aid.
Attaboy.
I did.
Attaboy.
I was hearing it from every direction.
I've won 2 of my, what is it called? Hard Rock. I won $116 off a $10 parlay. Four leg. I think the final 4. No, it was Elite 8. My final thing. I needed Tennessee to beat Kentucky by more than 5, and they did. So I put down 10, won 116, lost a couple of $5 wins, and then on Florida's championship game, I put 5. And you know what was a little bit strange, and you'll know this, Zach. I think we got Patrick. We got Pat. But Zach, in college sports, like Florida was the only college game the other night. So I played a little bit on Hard Rock. You can only do so much because you can't do player props on college.
Yeah, it's hard to do like a one of those parlays on it. You can only basically do the total
one game. You can only do so many bets, right?
Yeah. It is hard to get over those because you're kind of limited in what you can do.
Patrick, we welcome Patrick Young to the program. There he is. Hey, Pat, you saw we were just talking about nice hat. God darn, I got to get one of those Gator Boy hats. That's nice. Hey, Zach and I were talking, and we had the video up. Did you see the guy on Monday night after the Gator win? The crowd spills out into the streets of Gainesville, and the one student, I guess, he shimmies up the light pole and goes across. Pat, Zach, if we play it again, can Pat see it?
Yeah, he should be able to. Let me.
Oh, you've seen it. Okay, you've seen it. And then he stands up to start shaking it, and my man goes down, man. He goes down, Patrick.
I mean, yeah, duh.
Yes.
Apparently he was okay though, so I'm happy. Yeah. I'm happy that he was okay.
Yeah, and I hope he didn't hurt anybody that he landed on. You know. Oh, these crazy college students, Patrick. Crazy college students.
You know you were a crazy college student, man. Stop playing.
Not me. Hey, the TV numbers are in from the here he is. Here, look at this guy, Pat. I don't know if you can see. Look, look at him. He's so far, now he's going to stand up like he's surfing, okay? Now he's going to rock the boat. Rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby. Look at rock the boat, don't tip the boat. Oh, look at me. Look at me. I'm king of the world. Look out. Oh, down he goes. Down he goes, Pat. Down he goes.
You got to know when to stop.
Yeah, you do.
Because he was doing all right. He was doing all right, but he did a little too much.
Yes, he did. Patrick, the television numbers are in from the Florida-Houston championship game. Absolute massive numbers for the game. 18.1 million, most since 2019. The game peaked at 21.1 million. Huge numbers for the Final Four and then the championship game. And, it was an exciting finish. I mean, people started getting on social media going, man, I hope y'all are watching this Houston-Florida game. This thing is tightening up, man. But, Pat, they 22% increase over last year. Final Four averaged 16.4 over 3 games. That is a 21% increase over last year. Pat, yesterday on the show, I don't know if you were on with me at the time, I talked about how if your program goes deep into a playoff, the exposure for your brand. I mean, Gator basketball, by making a 3-week run, think about the brand helps in the product, I think, doesn't it? The more your brand is out there, doesn't that help them, Patrick?
Yeah, I mean, in this time where the program has kind of been a little average over the last decade, it pushes them back in the forefront of the conversation.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why I love seeing those commercials that colleges have when they're playing.
Yeah.
About their school and the science and all that kind of stuff. Gives them a chance to, try and recruit some more future generation.
Yeah.
To come to because you got to, you got to make your brand relevant.
I agree.
For that next generation that comes in, and you hope, selfishly, the university hopes they're going to have a rich alumni that'll give back to the school a bunch of money one day. And I mean, I'm lucky, and I'm sure you do. I'm lucky to know some of those rich alumni.
Yeah, definitely.
They have some nice boxes.
Yeah, they do. I would imagine, Patrick, somewhere here in the next maybe 6 months, as we start heading to the start of a new college year, in August, I guess, when the new college academic year rolls around in August, I would expect somewhere this summer we will hear a story or read a story about University of Florida admissions. The applications have gone up. It normally and that's one of the reasons colleges invest their money in athletics. Because, I mean, let's just pick a number. Florida, it's hard to get in Florida. But let's say they get 3,000 more applications because of this exposure than normal. Well, they could either squeeze more students in, or they can be even more choosy. They can be even more. Yeah. There's nothing but positive if your admissions increases.
I think they do a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think not a little bit. I think that's how they operate. When I spoke at the convocation of this incoming class, when was that? Don't remember when it was.
Yeah.
But for the freshmen that were starting up this new experience, their college experience, it was the most students ever.
Ever. Wow.
It was like 7,212
of freshmen, new class.
Of freshmen.
Yeah.
Of new class, like the most they've ever had come in, and like all smart. I mean, you can just tell.
Yeah.
I don't want I have in the seat that I was in, I can see the faces,
right,
and the diversity of the crowd very well, so I could see that it really is like all types of people that the university is bringing in.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, I tell you,
love being Gators.
You know, and these universities, they have a lot of money. They are sitting on a lot of money. They have to do something with their money, right? I mean, you've got a nest egg of money. You've got an endowment. You've got money. Investing in these major sports, again, it's a good investment. I mean, if you're Florida, you invest in sports. You're in the SEC. You know you're getting money coming back, and you're exposing your brand. I mean, how much advertising would Florida have to spend abroad, dollar for dollar, to get the absolute millions of dollars of exposure their brand got because they have because they sponsor an athletic program? They didn't buy any of that advertising necessarily.
Right.
They got it.
Man.
It's a great investment, man. Now, it also is
winning is a great investment.
You know what? Well said, because I was going to say it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy too. If you win,
I mean, shoot, that's the Yankees, man. Like they have.
Yeah.
The Yankees are the #1 most recognized sports franchise in the world.
In the world, yes.
In the world.
But you look at a product like Coca-Cola. Okay, they've got a ton of money. They've got ungodly money, and because they've got the money, they invest in their brand, and they keep their brand right in your face. And by keeping the brand right in your face, that gets more sales. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you win big in college athletics, if you make it to the Final Four in football or basketball, you've gotten such brand exposure, it helps you stay on top. You know, it's self-fulfilling.
Well, Terry, it's the same thing as recruiting.
Well said. Well said.
It's the same thing as recruiting.
Yep.
If you want exposure, if you're not getting exposure, if you're not good enough, no one's going to want you.
Hard.
But dude, man, you 5-star products.
Yep.
Everybody.
Yep.
Many options.
Yep.
All the options you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you're Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, Michigan, and you win, when you go to recruit the next time, your brand was so out there that every 5-star picks up the phone. They pick up.
Dude, I'll tell you this too. I remember when I was getting recruited, Kansas came off their championship, and it was kind of cold. Like when they would send recruiting mail, it was a humble brag. Not a humble brag. It was a brag about
nice.
You know, you want to be a part of this or stuff like that.
Yeah. Hey, PY wasn't going up to Lawrence, Kansas in that cold. You were. I know you weren't going.
Woo! That would have been rough, man. That would have been rough.
A little too cold up there, huh?
Golly.
A little too cold.
I hate the cold so much. I hate the super hot, and I mean, who does?
Yeah.
And Terry, and hey, guys, it's powder season.
Yeah, it is, buddy. Gold Bond. I got it right there on my dresser. I got it right there on my dresser. Hey, PY, we're coming up on a break. You may not know this time-wise, I'm going to ask you, but shouldn't we start hearing, not just Florida, but we pay attention to the Gators now, shouldn't we start hearing some portal signees? I mean, the portal's open. I mean, you got to put your roster together here in the next, 15, 20 days, I think it is. I think we'll start hearing some Florida portal stuff.
Dang, really?
I think, the portal's open right now. Football is going to open as well on the 15th. But the basketball portal's open right now. I think we're going to hear. I don't think if you're Todd Golden, if you've already cut a couple deals, I don't think you announced it, Monday or Tuesday. You wanted to revel in the game and the celebration. But don't you think we're going to hear a couple of new players coming to Florida here in the next, week, 2 weeks?
That'll be interesting. I have seen some signings.
Yeah.
In the portal.
There have been.
Thus far, I saw on the women's side, South Carolina signed the girl from Florida State. That's supposed to be
I saw that.
Awesome. I haven't seen any. I think I saw one big sign. I see and they have had a few big time high school recruits.
Yeah.
Make some decisions, some late decisions.
There have also been a couple of guys, I've named guys. Arkansas got hit pretty good. Calipari, Therio went to the draft. Boogie Fland, it looks like he might be moving. So there's movement. I think Florida's going to
draft.
I think moving. I think I read somewhere that Boogie Fland's getting out of Arkansas. Now Calipari's got about a 4-man class coming in from high school, but I think we're going to see some and read some portal stuff coming up.
Kentucky's going to be completely different.
Yes,
Texas
they are.
A&M's lost 8 guys.
Yeah.
LSU's probably going to look. Man, LSU have they? Man, what's Matt McMahon got to do to get a good team?
I don't know.
That competes out there, man.
Trey Johnson.
What does LSU have to do to have like a competing program again?
I know, and
it sucks.
SEC basketball is better when LSU's good. LSU's supposed to be good in basketball. They're supposed to be a tough out, aren't they?
LSU's supposed to be good in basketball. You're right. Yeah,
they're supposed to be good.
That program is definitely supposed to the fact having Shaquille O'Neal in your program, it is disappointing that program. Yeah, one of the most dominant players, and they've had Pistol Pete. Oh my gosh.
Chris Jackson, remember Chris Jackson? Mahmed Abdul Rauf, he changed his name too. But Chris Jackson was really good. Texas, Trey Johnson announced NBA today. He'll take off. He's ready. He's a good player, man.
Yeah,
he's a good
ready.
player.
Yeah. Hey, I don't remember this. You would remember this. And I want to read. I got the book. Dale Brown. What's your opinion on him?
I loved him. I love Dale Brown. Really did. I thought he was a player's coach. He loved being just a little bit of the underdog. He liked chasing Kentucky and Indiana. And he had some good teams, man. He had some good teams at LSU. They were fun when he was there. What do you think of him?
Well, I don't know, because I want to read this book or watch a documentary or something, but I know that he had a lot of fights with the NCAA.
Yeah.
I saw one of them.
Yeah.
But he helped pave the way for just their, I don't even want to, what do you want to describe this? I mean, I think this is evil. One of his players had cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids' dying requests that year, they had some type of banquet for him. He wanted all his best friends to be there.
Right.
And 2 of his best friends were on the basketball team. And the NCAA said, no, they can't go.
I got you. Oof.
And Dale Brown said, F you guys.
Yeah.
They're going.
Yeah.
It's not the right thing. Because it was they would have needed a flight in a hotel or something like that. But it was not an impermissible benefit of them getting more skill, or they were going to their dying friends last will. And the NCAA's
No. When you get into that book, I'm assuming that book, if it's about Dale Brown, and if it went is he still alive? I'm not sure if he's still alive or not.
I'm not sure.
But I'm sure.
Dead.
Dead.
The doorknob.
Alive. that book, if it's Dale Brown, a book about Dale Brown, you should have a pretty good chapter on how he discovered Shaquille O'Neal. I won't tell you any more about it, but it's a good story. You'll like it. They also, Dale Brown and Shaq have a 30 for 30 that's real good. It's about their relationship. It's really good. But that book you're reading should have a...
Did they have a good relationship?
Yes, extremely. And if Dale Brown's still alive, still close. Very, very close. Very, very close. So Shaq will admit that he was a bit of a knucklehead when he was 18, 19, 20, 21. He's also 7'1", 300 pounds, and, just this unbelievable superstar.
It's unbelievable force.
Yeah, but you'll enjoy when you get to the part of the book where how and where Dale Brown found Shaquille O'Neal and how he recruited him. You're going to like it. You're going to like it a lot. Stay with us, Pat. We'll take a first break here. We're a little bit late. Want to get into, on the other side, man, Gator athletics have kicked Florida State to sleep this year. We'll talk about that, man. Gators, Seminoles, it's been a one-sided battle, and that doesn't bode well for FSU because Gator football and Gator baseball aren't exactly ruling the roost right now, but they're still handling FSU. Tough time right now for FSU athletics. We'll dive into that with that guy, Patrick Young. I'm Terry Norvelle. Stay with us right here on the Young and Norvelle Show, Action Sports Jax.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jax Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jax Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jax Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry. We still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Back here to the program, Terry Norvelle. I think we got Pat still on. We'll get back to him momentarily. By the way, we have our first kind of crazy game in Major League Baseball. We'll have a bunch of these as the season plays out over a good 6 months. But today, how about this game? The Pirates hosted the Cardinals. Pittsburgh at home taking on St. Louis. This ball game was scoreless through 11 innings. They played 11 freaking innings, and nobody scored. We get to the 12th. The visiting Cardinals, they score a run in the top of the 12th. The Pirates match that by tying the game again in the bottom of the 12th. So we go to the 13th. Cardinals don't score. Pirates scratch one across, and they end the game. In 13 innings, I guess maybe even 12 and two-third innings maybe, we'll call it, the Pirates win the first really, wouldn't you agree with that, Zach? It's the first one I can think of, one of those crazy, either a 21-20 final or a 2-1 13-inning final.
Yeah, it's the first one I can think of, at least from this year, to go 13. And that's probably less likely to happen with that new the rule where there's the runner on second.
Yeah. So they made it deep into the 12th inning before. So yeah, I would imagine you're right. Starting guys on second and things like that. We may not see any of those 16, 17 inning games anymore.
No, yeah, probably not.
And
that's probably for the best.
The box score looked kind of crazy. Let me see if I can find that again real quick. And I think there's a second final. Yeah, the Marlins have beaten the Mets already today, to give you a couple more scores. And the Yankees returned the favor. They beat Detroit 4-3, so a couple 3 finals from Major League Baseball full schedule today. And what was I going to look up? Oh, yeah, the box score from the this Pirates win. 2-1, 13 in the 12th inning. They ended the game, bottom of the 12th. The Cardinals, good Lord, won. Let me get to their pitching and see what the Cardinals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They used 8 pitchers. The starter went 6. Nobody scored basically. Then a guy went 1. 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 And a guy went a third, so he took the loss. So it was 12 and a third. The Pirates went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deep. Good Lord. And let me see if I'm too lazy to look this up. If this is a getaway game, that's one thing. But, man, if it's not, if you're playing the next day, tomorrow, you don't want. Hopefully it'll be a getaway. They'll travel Thursday, get settled, and play their new, Friday, Saturday, Sunday series. But, a lot of pitching, boys. A lot of pitching. I don't think we have Patrick, but I wanted to get to the Florida State Athletic. Man, it sounds like I'm always bashing FSU, but man, they are
fairly common.
Well, am I bashing FSU, or just telling you the facts?
Just reporting the news.
I mean, they're 2-10 in football. They haven't been relevant going in their second year. Basketball was a disaster. They've gotten rid of their coach. Baseball, they've got the right coach, and I think we got Pat back on.
I believe we do.
Pat, you there? Yeah. Hey, Pat, we were just introducing this segment about Florida State, and I hate that it seems like you and I, or mainly me, we always bash FSU athletics, but what a downtime for FSU athletics. Florida beat them this year in football. Florida beat them, of course, this year in basketball. And Florida is really struggling in baseball, but the Gators beat Florida State last night. 5-4, and they win the series 2-1. I mean, what a tough time right now for FSU athletics.
Isn't FSU baseball? They're ranked, right?
They had a tough series over the weekend. Wake Forest beat the snot out of them in 2 games. They knocked them down And FSU's having a little bit of a problem that Florida's having. Their relief pitching can't get anybody out. They've got a great starter in Jamie Arnold. After him, people are just knocking the ball. FSU got run ruled twice over the weekend by Wake Forest. Twice in Tallahassee. Run ruled.
How can it be that bad?
I don't know. They're struggling with their pitching. But
how can the pitch, like, gosh, is the hitting that much better? Or is it really just that it's that hard to be a good pitcher?
Yeah, they're scuffling, man. I think a lot of it is in Florida. You know, the Gators aren't having a great season. They have won the series over FSU, but Florida's big problem is also relief pitching. They just can't throw strikes. You know, it's not like they're getting smashed all over the ballpark, but all of a sudden, if you walk a guy, you hit a guy, you walk another guy, well, then you got to throw a strike, and the guy hits the ball in a gap. You know, got to throw strikes, man. Easier said. Hey, throwing strikes in baseball is a lot like that free throw. You know, you would think you're a pitcher and you've thrown strikes your whole career, but there's times where you can't hit the backstop.
Yeah.
And that'll kill you. Hey, Pat, we were talking about the huge numbers, TV numbers. Florida, Houston, they drew. CBS had a monster Final Four and championship game. The women's game had terrible numbers. The women's Final Four, yeah. And you know, I can understand why. The women's game, the biggest problem the women's game has right now is the only way they can get interest in the women's game with eyeballs on TV sets, they got to have a special side story. Well, the Caitlin Clarks of the world, you can't invent that every year, right? I think that's the issue. At some point, you got to stand on your game, not a side story. You know? They had terrible numbers.
Yeah, I don't think there was a storyline really there.
Yeah.
Juju Watkins getting hurt, too. That didn't help.
Yeah, knocked her team out. I don't know much about it, and I was talking to Zach. Obviously, Zach knows a little more about women's college basketball. I got settled on Sunday and actually sat in front of a TV. I met some friends out after I worked at the arena, and that game was on, UConn, South Carolina. I looked up. UConn beat the brakes off of. I don't know enough to say I couldn't believe that happened, but Pat, I couldn't believe that happened. It was never a game, Patrick. It was never a game.
It was never a game.
Yeah.
Their defensive UConn. I can't believe you peeked at it, Terry. I'm proud of you.
I was out of the sports bar and it was on, and
Zach, hold on, Zach. Hold on. Please come on, Zach.
You're welcome.
Please come on for a moment.
Did you watch it?
I watched.
Patrick, did you
raise
your right hand? Raise your right hand.
I watched multiple women's games.
What?
Oh, there you go.
What?
Multiple.
Which girl do you like on the screen? You must have liked one of the girls.
I mean, that Haley Van Lith girl, she's not hard to look at.
Yeah, she. Have you seen the Sports Illustrated?
Who's she play for?
TCU.
Have you seen her Sports Illustrated pictures be released?
No.
But if you're half a producer,
working.
Yeah, exactly, working. If you're half a producer, we will be seeing it in a second. There. Who was the girl for? It might have been South Carolina. Remember our buddy Brian liked a couple of years ago.
Cardozo.
He liked her a lot. Yeah, said she was
loved her.
All right, Zach, what do you got?
Well, I mean,
you'll think this is funny, Terry. And I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for this joke or not.
Okay.
But
probably.
I'll do it anyway. So, my mom, I just say this to my mom one day of like, Mom, you're so handsome. And she's like, you don't call a woman handsome. And because I was just joking or whatever. And she didn't let it go. And we're watching, and I'm not even going to say which team to protect myself here, but we were watching
okay.
a few different women's college basketball games, and she'd say, Patrick, she is handsome.
Nice.
Oh, my gosh.
Nice. I like it. I like it a lot.
Can I get in trouble for that? Is that bad?
Yes, it is.
Come on, we got to be fair. We know there's some women that do not look as feminine as others.
Fair enough. Fair. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. Pat, I was bringing up an old topic, but I mean, it bears repeating. After we just wrapped up an incredible March Madness, that was great. I mean, the whole tournament was good. The Elite Eights were good. The Final Four was good. The championship game was good. The college football first 12-team playoff was a lot of fun, and it was good. And all the numbers are in, and everything's gone off the board. Patrick, does anybody out there still bitch and moan about the portal? I mean, the portal has made college football and basketball much better. And damn, if you're a Gator fan, how can you complain? I hope there are no Gator fans that don't like the portal. The portal just won. The portal just won the University of Florida basketball championship.
The portal has made it so it's going to be damn near impossible to ever have another dynasty in college football.
Maybe, yeah. Dynasty. Okay, yeah, dynasty.
Dynasty.
And are you okay with that?
I don't know if we will ever see another Alabama type run.
And are you okay with that? I'm fine with that.
I think I'm fine. I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm totally fine with that. I mean, the NFL occasionally has dynasties. See New England, see Kansas City, but the NFL, the great NFL, the last thing they are structured to do, they don't want dynasties. They want parity. They think parity is, and damn. Hey, here's a little spinoff to get you thinking a little bit.
I disagree with that.
Here's a little spinoff to get you thinking. Obviously right now, college athletics has a free agency period every year. It's open free agency every year. And frankly, it's wonderful. I mean, these last couple of years have been wonderful. The difference between the college athletics and the NFL is the NFL has a draft. So you can earmark players or you can get them through free agency. College athletics is you can recruit or get them through portal free agency. What if the NFL didn't have a draft? What if it was all free agency every year? Would it be better? Man. Would it be better? Would the NFL be better if every year the players could cut deals and go with? I mean, would it be better? It might be. Who knows?
I don't know if the product on the field would be as good.
Right.
That will be my issue. I think continuity in professional football helps you to have the chance to build something. Mm-hmm. Like how much could you imagine? I don't know. Every year, 8 or 9 new guys on offense or defense every year, starters.
Oh, you see it in college right now.
Yeah.
See it in college, right? I tell you though, not that Gator football has won at a high level yet. But where would Gator football be without the portal? Where the Gator basketball would not have won a title 2 nights ago without the portal.
Right.
Not even close. I don't know. I think all the portal haters.
That's something to think about, Terry. That's something to think about. No, that's a really good thought. Every now and then you come up with something that's pretty good.
Every now and then.
You got to be open-minded to the portal, and you've also got to be open-minded to NIL, because due to NIL, we're able to get these collaborations with Sports Illustrated, and we're able to see things like the Haley Van Lith Sports Illustrated swimsuit. As you know, I may potentially be stuttering over some words.
Oh, look at us! Oh yeah.
Young man's game.
Oh my! Boy, she is eating her. That girl eats her vegetables. You can tell she eats her vegetables, man. Now, who does she play for?
She bounced around. She played at TCU this year.
Okay, go Horned Frogs. go Horny Frog. A horned frog.
I see a horned frog right now.
Yes, I was gonna say. Okay, Terry, I like you now.
Texas Christian University.
Yeah.
She's doing that, representing Texas Christian University.
Yeah.
Yeah. You horny frog. Horned frogs. They're the horned frogs, you know. Zach, I'm going to say what Patrick's thinking right now. Is that the only photo you have of her?
Well, I had quite a few to choose from, but it was the one that I felt like was the best. Yeah. I mean, look, there was you could call it a greatest hits of photos out there. I mean, none of them are bad.
What's her name again? Say her name.
Haley Van Lith. Megastar.
Van Dam. Wow. Does she have like a high profile boyfriend like Livy Dunn, Paul Skeens kind of thing?
Not that I know of, but I would imagine that she has offers.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah.
So Pat, you've known of her.
Yeah.
So she must look pretty good in her.
I thought she was I saw her first at LSU and thought she was a cutie.
Oh, she was at LSU before?
Yeah, she transferred. I think she transferred more than once.
She was at Louisville.
Yeah.
So she gets her.
Day.
So are you saying she gets around?
All right. I don't know about that.
Just asking a question. Gosh darn. Right? Sounds like she gets around. Has she ever heard of Jacksonville University?
Yeah, I don't know. She might be a little too prestigious for that.
You shut your filthy mouth. Hey, we've got
graduated, man.
Hey, we've got a women's beach volleyball team that I think she should go try out for. She's got the uniform on.
She'd probably make it.
She would make it. She's the number one player.
She's not that tall. She's 5'8".
Patrick,
that's fine. She can be the.
I don't care, Patrick.
The one on the back row. I don't know the position.
What do they call that? Yeah, the little
Libero.
Librero. I literally will go to my grave not understanding the librero of volleyball. You know, the one that wears a different uniform.
Yeah.
And is a player, but is not a player. But it's on the court, but is not. You know what I mean?
They only do defense. They're only defense.
But isn't the whole thing offense and defense? So they can't hit it over the net.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I'm going to go to my grave not knowing.
Patrick
knows.
Their role is to be the last line of defense for all spikes and back hits.
Now, how do you know this?
They never score.
How the hell do you know this, Patrick?
My stepdaughter. She plays volleyball.
Okay, there you go. And the librero, whatever, that person wears a different uniform, right?
Yeah, I don't know why. That doesn't seem necessary, right?
Because she must get to do something special, or can't do something, or something to help the referees, I guess.
I don't know.
Pat, did you and I talk about there were 11,355 people crammed into the O-Dome? They had to close the doors. Did we talk about that for the watch party the other night?
No, we did.
Patrick, 11. The O-Dome was totally sold out. They shut the doors, couldn't cram nobody else in, and people were paranoid because the game was within like 30 minutes of tipping off, and every bar and restaurant on University Boulevard was packed, and these people couldn't get in. Dude, it was incredible. I've seen a lot of viewing parties. Normally, you got one half the stadium with 3,000 fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, Patrick, if I tell you, it was absolutely sold out in the O-Dome. Ungodly crowd.
I've never seen that before.
It was unreal.
And then I never saw University being that full.
Did you see how crowded University Boulevard was? Pat, did you see the crowd at Flavette Field to welcome them back yesterday?
No.
Oh my God. They did it at Flavette Field. Patrick, there must have been 20,000 people packed in that. It was ungodly. It must have been 10 easy. It was ungodly. And I'm telling you, this, we talked about the brand, the University of Florida brand now, the athletic brand. This is so good for the brand. It's also not that Gator Nation needed anything, but you could feel this is a real jolt to Gator Nation. Kind of has stirred up, which I think is good. It's going to last all summer. And I don't know if football can keep it up, but can you feel, I'm telling you, Monday night, Tuesday morning, you could kind of feel, Gator Nation is always big and strong. It's a big university, as you know, Pat. It's your school. It's a big, strong, well-represented, but you can feel this national title is going to jolt Gator Nation. It's going to kind of stir the fire up a little bit. Does that make sense at all? This is really good for Gator athletics, I think.
Oh yeah, it's a great supercharge.
Yeah, good word. Good word.
Yeah, I mean, I think it puts the batteries back in Gator Nation and just the excitement. Because now you feel secure. We got the coach. We got the coach.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess it gives some grace. It gives some grace to the football coach, but now maybe there's some pressure of
Yeah.
You've been with us 3 years now. What you gonna do for me?
Yeah, definitely. Pat, did you have any day after media calls? Did people still reach out to you after the fact, or how's?
Yes, I did too. I did Sirius XM in the morning, yesterday morning, and I did a afternoon show, an ESPN radio show. Yeah, twice.
Anybody we would recognize, and what was the angle? Were they just asking you to rehash the game? Did they ask about anything specific? Do you remember?
I would say the most interesting interview is going to be the first one with Alyssa Ling and Peter Burns.
Okay.
First thing they were wagering on, because I called them. They called me at 10, and their show gets off at 11. Is Chris Doering gonna call them before 11 a.m. before their show was over? Because they're tight with Chris Doering, and you knew that he had a great time celebrating.
Oh, did he? Oh my!
Then they just asked some really good questions, man. Like, what's the focus? How do you rebuild? How do they rebuild?
Yeah.
What's the Peter has this thing of, he says, I give you now after winning a national championship, you get 2 years of grace for your fan base, which I thought was interesting. I brought up, but then I just thought this Florida team didn't play their best, and they are national champions.
Yeah. Pat, before we take the top of the hour break, of the four bigs, obviously, you know the four: Reuben, Ogden, Houck, and Condon. If you had to guess how many come back of the four bigs, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4? Tough. It's tough.
I mean, I don't see why all four of them wouldn't come back.
I'm with you. I would say 4. I think they all four come back.
I don't see why all 4 wouldn't come back.
Now, does that send Sam Alexis back to the portal? Probably. Wouldn't you think Alexis would probably go to the portal?
That's possible.
Yeah. But I'm with you. I think all 4 bigs come back. We know Aberdeen, I think, is coming back. Right there, that core right there, I think you could do a lot of damage with that core. I think that core right there.
I don't really think Clavshar's going
I'm not
to
sure.
be,
Yeah.
Or even the Lithuanian kid that's a sophomore now.
I'm with you.
Maybe the kid Orlando Brown or Isaiah Brown.
Yeah.
Isaiah Brown, I like what he's shown, but he hasn't played enough.
And they got 3 high school. They got 3 high school signees too coming in. CJ Ingram, they think will find some playing time no matter what. I'm making this statement right now. If Aberdeen comes back, and I think it will, I'm with you. I think Clavshar probably is asked to go find a new home. We'll help you find a new home. You're not going to play a lot here. I think they'll tell him that, and that's just my guess. I'm going to make this statement now. If Denzel Aberdeen next year is still on the team, and I think he will be, if he increases his minutes as a 1 or a 2 guard, and sometime a 3, you never know. He could play the 3 in certain lineups. I'm going to comment that if Aberdeen averages 25-ish minutes, 25 to 30, I think he's a 15-point-a-game guy. I think he is a scorer. I think that guy knows how to put the ball in the basket.
Yeah. I think without a doubt he's a scorer. He's probably not going to be a high assist guy.
Maybe not.
But he will.
I think he'll be.
But I think he's great if Coach Gold gets another alpha like Walter. I think he'll be just fine because he does get a lot of catch and shoot opportunities.
Yep, and he drives well. He drives the lane well, and he's bigger than people. I still don't think people realize he's 6'4" and he's long. He's a long arm 6'4". Long arm 6'4". All right, Pat, let's wrap up our number 1. We'll have Dr. Bates. We're going to talk a little swimming and surfing. on the other side with Dr. Bates from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. He specializes, obviously, he's an orthopedic surgeon, ankles, knees, and shoulders. But, Pat, he told me a week or so ago he does more shoulders than ankles and knees. And that got me thinking, we're in shoulder season, swimming and surfing, paddling out, bad on the shoulders. We'll talk some sports medicine on the other side with
surf.
Dr. I don't, but a lot of people do. I don't surf, man. I don't like deep water. Deep water gives me the heebie-jeebies. You like deep? I don't like deep water, Pat.
No, I don't like deep water either.
Yeah,
I'm good without.
Yeah. All right, we're talking some sports medicine on the other side. We'll kick off hour number 2, Hump Day edition, fun Wednesday edition, the Young and Norvelle Show. Stay with us. We'll be back after this quick timeout.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jags Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jags Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jags Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey, here we go. Kicking things off, hour number 2, the Young and Norvelle Show on a Hump Day Wednesday. I want to thank Patrick Young. He spent an hour with us as he was scarfing down some food there, Zach. Did you notice that? Patrick,
Yeah,
he'll eat some food
he
on you
always
now.
finds one way or another to get the food in. Yeah.
He'll eat some food on you there. So, hungry growing boy, that Patrick Young. We've kicked him out, and I think we're welcoming Dr. Aaron Bates. You know him from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, our buddy who joins us on Wednesdays. Doc, got some seasonal activities, some seasonal sports I want to ask you about. Where we're at on the calendar, warm weather now. People are starting to swim. We're about to jump in the ocean, the pool, the river, the lake. Swimming, Doc. You told me a couple weeks ago that you do more shoulders than knees or ankles. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I do shoulders and knees. Probably I see more and do more shoulders. It's just how they come.
Yeah. Got me thinking where we're at in the season. We're all about to start swimming again, right? I mean, the weather's warming up. We're going to be in the ocean. We're going to be in the lakes. We're going to be in the pools. That just the freestyle swim. That's got to be such an awkward, unnatural. You're just awkward when you're swimming. Am I onto something here? And then you've got the water. You got the resistance of the water. Is swimming bad for that area of the body? In a weird way.
In general, swimming is actually a good exercise. It's a good low impact exercise. It's a full body exercise, and it's a very controlled motion. It's not a violent act like throwing or throwing motion. And so typical injuries that you see are mostly overuse injuries, like rotator cuff strains and things like that. Maybe neck strains because of breathing, trying to breathe and turn your head either way if you're doing it for long periods of time.
Yeah.
Sometimes, hip injuries or overuse, hip strains or things like that because of kicking for long periods of time. But in general, I mean, it's a pretty safe and good exercise for folks that have things like arthritis, and things like that can keep the joints mobile. And it's very smooth and it's not, and it's low impact.
It just seems like that motion is an impingement waiting to happen, kind of that, and I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much.
You can certainly get impingement that way. Yeah. You can certainly.
Yeah.
But in general, I mean, I don't typically see impingement from folks that are swimming unless they're doing it since every day for miles of swim in the as far as the freestyle is concerned.
And Doc, I may be reading a little more into this when I was putting this segment together. From myself, maybe I'm reading into it more Terry than the general public because I mean you and I we know each other. I'm a short, squatty. I don't know what you call me, but I've always my shoulder area. Yeah, a little short, fat son of a. Anyway, but I've always been in pretty good shape. I've always been a guy I like to go to the gym, so I've always been kind of tight in these areas. You know what I mean? So I don't have great. Does that make sense? And that swimming motion to me, I'm thick and tight in here, and I'm not loosey goosey in there. Maybe I'm overreading that by my own, my own
not
self.
Really, but I mean, I think somebody like you, I think swimming can really help.
Yeah.
It loosens up those joints that are tight like that. Yeah. So typical swimmers and the really good swimmers are really lanky and they have more lax joints.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons. But if you're tight, I think swimming is a good exercise.
Yeah. And we always talk, man, I've gotten so much better over probably the last 5 years. I was at the gym this morning, and I don't do a whole crazy workout or anything, but man, do I love to stretch now. It just feels good, man. And I don't care. I'm grabbing and hanging, and I'm twisting, touching my toes, holding something and leaning. Stretching, man. I wish I was more into stretching when I was younger. There's nothing negative from stretching, right?
Right. It's a part of working out that's definitely been overlooked.
Oh.
It's overlooked a lot, and it can really help the health of joints.
Yeah, definitely. Spinning off, staying in the water. I've never been a surfer. I've got a ton of buddies of mine that have been longtime surfers, and staying with that. when you're on a board, obviously surfing, you're standing up, okay? But you got to get out there. You got to paddle out. You got to paddle out. I know several good friends of mine that have been 35-year surfers, and a lot of them are done because that paddle out, you're laying on a board, and that is an awkward, you're paddling out, and their shoulders just are dead. That's got to be much worse than the swimming we were talking about, right?
Yeah, I mean, it may be, but I think it's the other things too. When you're, if you don't catch a wave right or something like that, you can get twisted up in a wave. And what I've seen orthopedic wise is shoulder dislocations and shoulder instability because of it. And particularly in the young folks, when you have your first dislocation or first instability episode when you're young, you have a higher risk of having recurrent instabilities. And so if they don't come in and get the necessary rehab or whatever, and they still try to get out and surf, well, then that can become an issue. The getting out there, after they have that injury, getting out there would hurt a little bit more, but I don't think getting out there in and of itself causes much of a problem. And I bet, as orthopedists, we don't see as many of the surfing injuries because they're more lacerations, head injuries, hitting against the board, those types of things.
The guys that I talk to, the guys that I know, when they talk about they just can't surf anymore, their shoulders. They also talk about when you're on the board, you're flat on the board and you're paddling out. It's an awkward. You're paddling. It's awkward, but you got to raise your neck also, and they say it kills your neck because it's an awkward. You got to look. You don't paddle out like this. You paddle out, and you're all turtled up or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, you're sure gonna have cervical neck strains with that.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Yeah. When you do somebody's shoulder, does it bleed into their neck? I don't think you do neck area, but do they have to sometime go to somebody to do to work on the neck as well because it's right next to it,
Possibly, but a lot of times with shoulder injuries, you change the way you use the shoulder, and so you can get cervical paraspinal neck spasms and periscapular neck, periscapular muscle spasms, trying to overcompensate for what the shoulder is not doing, and the shoulder and the scapula tend not to work in concert anymore, and that's what causes those overuse injuries and the overcompensation of those muscles that spasm.
Talk with Dr. Aaron Bates from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. You can find out all of their locations, their immediate walk-in locations. Don't wait. Don't go to an emergency room. If you've got an orthopedic situation, you need to get it treated as quickly as possible. Get started on that treatment. They've got a great site. You can go to se-ortho.com. se-ortho.com. It'll get you directions, get you right there where you need to be. Check it out if you or somebody you know has orthopedic needs, se-ortho.com. Doc, I don't think I've ever asked you this question, and it's probably unanswerable officially, but on your, let's just say a standard, you're in there fixing somebody's shoulder. How long is that surgery? Is that multiple hours? Is it hard to answer that question? How long would something like that last?
It depends on what we're doing in the shoulder. It depends on how involved the tear is that we need to repair and anything else that we need to do inside the shoulder. But typically it's a rotator cuff repair and your run-of-the-mill medium-sized rotator cuff tear or a labral repair, something like that. That's typically an hour or so, hour and a half. But people take different time to do different things, but for me, it's typically an hour to hour and a half.
And is that full everything you do? Is it full anesthesia or is it local? Nothing
general
local.
Anesthesia. Yeah, right. For shoulders, you're put to sleep.
Yeah,
there's no real way to do it without having general anesthesia. Otherwise, it's just a struggle for everyone involved.
Everyone, yeah.
But sometimes you can do some knee things that you don't require general anesthesia, use a spinal or what have you. I have done that in the past. It's certainly easier to do it with someone under general anesthesia because they, when you're awake, you tend to, even though you don't know you're doing it, you tend to tense up, so it's harder to get things done.
Yeah, and I know, I knock on wood, I've been very lucky. I haven't been into medical offices very much in my life, but like dental, or getting stitches, or even, I went to the doc to get my baseline. I'm awake during everything, even like dental. I don't get a lot of dental, but they'll numb your area, but you can kind of hear stuff, and it gives you the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
I don't feel it, but I go, that noise was something on my bone in there,
Yeah.
And is that what you're talking about? If they're awake, it can kind of spook you a little bit.
Yeah, but and people don't think they're reacting to it, but they are.
Yeah.
Or they're kind of in twilight, so they know something's going on, but don't really know anything's going on, but don't really follow instructions very well.
There you go.
And move around more than they really need to, and so it can be difficult to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish in a case.
How many people are on your team in the room assisting roughly on a standard shoulder?
So typically I have one assistant, either nurse practitioner or PA, and then we have a surgical tech, one or two surgical techs involved. So 3 or 4.
Yeah, and the patient has to do the whole no solid food and all that the day before. Yeah,
right.
All that standard.
After midnight, nothing to eat or drink after midnight.
Yeah, that whole the whole standard thing. Well, Doc, I just wanted to talk about. I know people are getting in the water, man. It's water time. Certainly, we should not talk about water and injuries without saying, man, know where you're diving. Know what is in there. Man, know where you're diving. I'm not a big deep water guy. I mean, I'm fine jumping in and out of a pool, and I'm fine wading out into the ocean to cool off. I'm not a deep water guy, and I've never been I don't like rivers and lakes. I don't like stagnant, dark, kind of murky water. So, and those things
you want to see what you're swimming in, huh?
Yeah, and those, the rivers and lakes, I don't think what's, are you diving into a tree that's knocked down under there? Right. But be serious for a minute though, man. Doc, I know you don't get those spinal, but you hear about them, man. It's going to happen. We got so many people jumping and diving into. Know where you're diving, man. Know where you're diving,
exactly.
And know where your children are diving. All right, Doc. Few minutes left. What'd you think Monday night? What a game! What a game! What'd you think?
Man, I think UF beat them at their own game.
They really did.
They came out and played defense in the second half, and were able to come back, even with Clayton not having a great first half. And they were resilient, because I didn't think that was going to happen. Although they've been doing it all, the whole tournament.
Yeah,
they get down and I don't know if they're coming back, and they ended up finding a way. So they had a great season, great tournament. It's a great team.
Yeah,
I picked them to win the whole thing.
Same here.
Kind of reluctantly, but I picked them to win the whole thing, and they showed out.
Did you win any doctor money out of that pick, or?
No,
can you say?
I lost too many games before.
Yeah.
So.
You're right though. Florida made a bunch of comebacks. They never quit all year. They never got flustered. But I tell you, man, you're not supposed to come back from 12 against Houston the way they play defense. And Doc, you must have. I don't know if you've seen them much in the tournament. They really play defense at another level.
Yeah.
They get in your jersey, man.
Yeah.
They make every pass hard, everything on the perimeter, and you're just not supposed to come back on 12 points with those guys.
And they never stop. I mean, they don't. I saw an Instagram post about Houston, and that someone said that they train so hard, and Kelvin Sampson gets them in such good condition that their average mile.
I heard that. Oh.
Running a mile at 5 minutes and 14 seconds or something like that.
Across the board, all their roster.
Oh yeah, the average. That's the average across the board for every basketball player on the Houston Cougars.
That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. I thought there was a lot of irony in that game also, particularly the last play of the game. The Houston guy wanted to take a three. Clayton closed out on him, and he closed out on the side as to not foul him, because that would have been easy to blow a whistle there too. So he closes out, drops the ball, and Alex Condon dives on the ball, as you saw, And Houston takes great pride in if there's a loose ball in the arena, they get every loose ball. They take they drill that. And here's Florida making a Houston type play to finish the game. Wow. Hell of a tournament.
Beat them at their own game.
Yeah, the TV numbers were astronomical for the final. It was a hell of a tournament. The Final Four was great. The final game was great.
Yeah.
You know? Right. A lot of fun. How's Maryland?
I think the committee put together a good tournament. You know.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when the committee kind of gets it right, then it's going to get a lot of viewing.
We all benefited. We all benefited, I think, because they did get it right.
Exactly.
All right, Doc, how's your shoulder coming along? I always ask. How's your rotator coming? How's yours?
Well, it's going very well.
Good. You're a good patient.
It's going very well.
You're a good patient. Yeah. You're a good patient, it sounds like. It sounds like. All right, Doc, we'll let you go. Good stuff. Good information. We'll do it again next Wednesday. And we always appreciate everything you do for our show here on Action Sports Jax. Thanks, Doc. That's Dr. Aaron Bates.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too, Dr. Aaron Bates. Remember, se-ortho.com gives you all the locations where you can find the great professionals at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Also, their walk-in, immediate, no appointment necessary locations. They're scattered around for your convenience. I'm telling you, that's where you want to go. If you have a traumatic situation going on, you don't want to go sit at one of these corner urgent care places for hours. You don't want to go to a emergency room. All they're going to do is kind of get you stabilized, get started with the best in the business, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Check them out. All the services they provide, se-ortho.com. Break time. Come back. We'll hook up Brent Beard. Get back into the swing of things. See if Brent's got some information on the basketball portal and the college football portal. Football opens on the 15th, less than a week away. We'll talk about that and some other sports topics on the other side. Terry Norvelle and you coming back with Brent Beard on Action Sports Jax.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jax Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jax Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jax Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
At Norvelle Realty, they understand that buying or selling a home is more than just a transaction. It's a life-changing experience. That's why their team of highly seasoned real estate professionals is dedicated to providing exceptional personalized service for all of their clients. Norvelle Realty, they take great pride in the relationships that they build and will always work relentlessly on the client's behalf to help them achieve their real estate goals. Buying or selling in our area, you can't go wrong. They've been around a long time. Norvelle Realty, I will vouch for them. Patrick Young will vouch for them. I've known Lee Norvelle for a long time. They've been in business here in our area since 1986. You don't stay in business that long without building trust and satisfying a lot of customers. Norvelle Realty, 904-388-4400, 904-388-4400, or check them out. Go to their website, drop them an email. Norvelle Realty at norvellerealty.com, Norville, as we welcome Mr. Brent Beard to the program. I do believe I hear him stirring around.
Yeah, he's I don't think he's quite ready at the
We'll get Brent. Well, while we're waiting, I want to throw this out, piece of news that's coming down via ESPN Gainesville, WRUF out of Gainesville, so I'm going to go ahead and go with this. I believe it's a legitimate source. Breaking news, elite Gator booster Gary Condren, and you may notice that last name from the Condren Baseball Stadium down in Gainesville, the brand relatively new baseball stadium, which is beautiful. Gary Condren has committed $1 million to Florida men's basketball after their national title win, it sounds like. So, boy, to the victors go the spoils. It's kind of like what we said about with Patrick. The brand, when your programs win, it becomes self-fulfilling to a degree, right?
Yes,
I mean,
a snowball effect.
Yeah, it really does. If your programs win, you get free exposure, which you saw with Florida, and this is not just a Florida thing. But then, the wallets open a little easier. The tickets get purchased a little easier. The booster contributions get a little bigger. And theoretically, if you don't screw it up, and it's hard to not screw it up, right? If you don't screw it up, I mean, you still got to get the right players in the culture. I get all that, but money helps.
Make sure they don't get a speeding ticket every 20 hours.
Yes, exactly.
Et cetera, et cetera. Whoa. But I do believe that we do have
Mr.
world-renowned
Mr. Beard. Mr. Beard, Florida picked up $1 million booster bonus. Gary Condren, he hadn't done enough yet. All he did was help build that baseball stadium, Condren Ballpark, for God's sakes. But
Really?
Brent, I'd like to help. I just don't have an extra mill hanging around.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's kind of tough to come up with that from your pocket right now. So I get that totally. Listen, I've got several things. I've got several things in college football and basketball.
Fire away, buddy.
Since we're talking basketball, let me get. Have you heard about Hurley in Denver?
No. They just fired their coach.
This just hit a little bit ago. Is Hurley, the UConn coach, has been in talks this week with Denver of the NBA,
who just fired their coach.
Yes. Now, my question to you is, look, I'm sure if you can coach, you can coach. But look, Terry, my thing with Hurley is, if you're the owner of the Nuggets, how do you deal with that volcanic? Can I say that?
Yeah.
How do you deal with him exploding at any moment?
And there are type A aggressive coaches that get stirred up, and during the game they yell a little bit. And then there are Hurley and Bobby Knight type that you think they're going crazy at any minute.
Yes.
I mean, Hurley takes it to another level, doesn't he? And he's done it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not just one or two times. He's got a reoccurring pattern of he looks like he loses control of himself sometimes.
Yeah. And that they've had meetings this week. Probably, I don't know if they're in person or not. You know how that works.
Yeah.
You do a lot of stuff by Zoom.
Now you do, yeah.
At this point too. So that's another deal. Florida, my understanding is look. By the way, Jaron Stevenson from Alabama is in the portal.
Okay, along with Diabate, right? Diabate went to Kentucky, I think.
He went to Kentucky. Matter of fact, you mentioned this the other day. Is Stevenson is a good-looking prospect, but he's not very productive.
Yeah,
is the problem with it right now. Florida is in a race with North Carolina and St. John's for Xavier Lee, who is out of Princeton.
Okay.
Now, we don't need to talk anybody off the edge here. People in the portal, and I think Gator fans are smart enough to realize this because they've got a few of them. Just because these guys come from, look,
absolutely,
basketball school. You follow me, Terry?
Yeah, I know where you're going.
Just because all these guys don't come from North Carolina and Indiana and in Kentucky doesn't mean they can't play.
Hey, you think Florida's okay with an Iona portal edition, a Belmont portal edition, and a Florida Atlantic portal edition? The three guards that won the national title for Florida helped them. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I think I saw his name, Xavier Lee, supposed to be a hot shot guard, right? Point guard. Scores a lot, assists a lot, and he's way up there on the list of everybody that wants a point guard, right?
That's right. Oh, yeah. Listen, you got to have a good point guard.
And I want you to get back to your news and notes. I love this, by the way. But to your recollection, will we start seeing some guys pop here in the next week or two? And that'll lead us right into football. But the basketball guys will make their decisions soon, right?
Yes. Now, you've got some guys who are making decisions for the NBA, and they've got way too long to make that decision, Terry.
Yeah.
They really need to cut that situation down a lot more than it is. But these next few days, particularly for teams like Florida, that's a blessing and the curse. You win a national championship, but you don't have a lot of time to restock your program, frankly.
So I think Florida is bringing in 3 high school signees. One, C.J. Ingram, they think can give them time right away, but 3 are coming in. The 3 guards are going out. I don't know if any of the big men are going to come out, the starting big men, the 4 that played. It wouldn't surprise me to free up some space. That wouldn't surprise me if Sam Alexis finds another home, because I think all those big men may come back. And it wouldn't surprise me if Golden and the coaching staff at Florida, they talk to Clavshar and say, hey, man, it may be another year where you just don't get a lot of minutes. You might, if you want to play, we would love to have you here on our bench. But if you want to play, we'll make some calls for you. It wouldn't surprise me if Clavshar and Sam Alexis move on, and I don't think that'll hurt Florida's feelings. You got to have spaces still, for everybody. Got to have spaces. It sounds like, and get back to your notes, but let me throw one thing out. A little bit of defection out of Arkansas, I heard, and Texas. Trey Johnson, the really good freshman guard, he says, "I'm one and done, man." He's an NBA guy waiting to happen. I think 3 or 4 guys left Arkansas now. Calipari's got high school kids signed, and he'll go find some. But did you hear that as well? Arkansas had some defections.
Same, yeah, I agree with that. But at this point, they've got some momentum from their run. And again, I mean, I think you and I both agree. Arkansas, they absolutely blew a chance.
Really did. They could have went deep.
To have an even deeper run than what they did. But they to make their point before we slide into football here, they had a really good year. They got things together, and that's the main thing for them.
Nice. Keep going, man. If you've got a notebook full of stuff, I love hearing it all.
Football. As a matter of fact, you've got a copy of it in front of you right by now. But look, and this just happened too. Tennessee, and this is more interesting now than it would have been 2 or 3 years ago. Tennessee and Georgia Tech have added a home and home next year.
Really?
Next year for football. It's going to be in Atlanta. Now, remember, Terry, when Nebraska got out of the Tennessee series, they canceled it. So
yes,
they had. Listen, I would guess there's nothing that makes an AD madder than have a team cancel a series on you unless it's an emergency. That would happen the following year, and that's what's happened with this. Wow. And I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you what. Right now, that's a pretty good game.
Georgia Tech. Who was it? Brent Key up there. Georgia Tech is playing good football now. It took him a couple years, and he must be a pretty good coach. Are you saying that it's going to be back-to-back years in Atlanta?
Yeah, no, it's going to be to be more specific, next year in Atlanta, and in 2027 in Knoxville.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I wouldn't. Atlanta. Atlanta's Georgia Tech. Yeah, I was. Yeah. You know where I was going with that neutral site. Yeah.
Well, but to your point, Tennessee will still have more people there than Georgia Tech,
and Tennessee doesn't mind playing any game in Atlanta, Georgia. Right? That's a great place for exposure. Great place for exposure. Brent, I love that game. I love that.
I agree.
Did they have? Did I mishear this? Do they have the date set, or is it going to figure out where they're going to plug it out?
It's September 11th and September 12th.
Oh my God!
In consecutive years. So what that means is,
wow.
Here's the significance of that. You're going to have your better games on Labor Day weekend. This is basically the week after Labor Day weekend.
I'm all for it, buddy.
And you know, at that point, Florida's playing Long Island.
Yeah.
And Georgia's playing Ball State and things of that nature. So that's going to be one of your better games.
What a good Southern football game that is. And if Florida-Tennessee stays at late September, gosh darn, Tennessee's playing a good Georgia Tech team.
Really are.
And then, Brent, that's the best news you've had. That's a great 2-game matchup. I love that.
It really is. It is now.
And I'm just putting this in my mind like you are probably – that's just going to look cool to see Georgia Tech and Tennessee on the same field together playing football.
Yeah.
Love it.
I agree.
Absolutely love it. What else you got? What else you got, Brent?
I've got some high. Oh, look who's joined us. The star of the show, and smiling like a happy Gator too.
And look at that Gator Boys hat he's got on, man. That thing is nice. Nice.
Hey, Pat, if you're a 5-star high school player or a transfer, tell me why you won't want to play right now for Todd Golden.
Oh, did we lose Pat? I think we lost him there for a second as well. You make a good point. You still have to make. Go ahead.
Zach kicked me off for a second.
Yeah. Did you hear Brent's question to you? Why would you not want? Go ahead.
Yeah, style of play, man, and winning, and the coach, and why would you not want to? Yeah, and they have money too, so that always helps.
Yeah, Pat. Did you hear?
We got money to pay.
Did you hear Brent's other? He's brought a lot of news to the show. He said rumors are that Denver, the Nuggets just fired their coach, even though they're going to the playoffs. There's talk, according to Brent Beard, that Danny Hurley and Denver people are talking. Could he make it in the NBA before some NBA player punches him in the face?
Yeah, really.
Right?
Pat, how quickly could he get in trouble in the NBA, Pat?
Oh my God! I don't think he makes it through spring training or training camp. I don't think he makes it through training camp, man. Are you serious?
Yeah. Pat, I don't know if you heard this as well. I want your comments on this. I know you love college football as much as we do. Brent Beard just reported that Georgia Tech and Tennessee have agreed to a 2-year contract starting not this coming year, but next year in Atlanta. I love that game. Georgia Tech's playing good football right now. Georgia Tech, Tennessee, 2 years in a row, early September. I'll take that and run to the house, Patrick Young.
No, I still don't forgive Georgia Tech over losing to Georgia. I don't.
Yeah. They had them.
I don't care.
They had them. Brent, go.
I'm so angry about that.
Yeah, they had them. Brent, go back to your notebook.
Brent,
go ahead.
There's a decision that's supposed to be getting made here soon, a big one.
Yeah.
The house and all that.
Yeah. I was going to mention that, Pat. That's a great segue. Thank you for that. There's a district judge, Claudia Wilkin, that is supposed to rule on this decision. What we're talking about is it's the House versus the NCAA. This is this big deal that they think is going to be done by July. And if that is, all the schools are going to get like $20 to $21 million each.
Yeah.
So it is not done yet. There's still things they have got to be able to figure out. They've got some issues the judge wants taken care of before she actually signs off on it. But they're very close to it.
Yeah.
I mean, one of it is paying $2.8 billion in damages by the NCAA would go back. But to Terry, help me on this. That would go back
16
like 10 years.
Yeah, 2016, I think it is. And some of those back athletes, not quite Patrick Young's area.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But they're going to get a little back pay, it looks like, because they were not allowed. And I don't know how
lawsuits, but they have lawsuits against them from like Jim Valvano's team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like there's so many things dating back of athletes. Like, so I'm so curious.
I know.
Because I feel like if they win any of those cases, the athletes win. I feel like the NCAA is going to go bankrupt because then that means they'd have to pay every athlete ever.
But
ever used.
Brent, I was reading a little bit about the case Pat asked you about and you're talking about. It sounded like, if I can add on a little bit, the judge basically got him back, and she made this statement. She basically has told all the parties, "You're on the right track. Keep going forward." She's tabled it. She's tabled it, but I think she's going to get back together in May. She just bought some more. She just bought some more time to say, "Hey, keep dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Y'all are on the right track."
Correct.
Because she doesn't want to come in here and just wipe it out, and she wants them to do it. No. And so, Pat and Brent, it's getting close. It's getting close. Once this gets approved and there's a salary cap, I think contracts start falling into place for the players, and the wild west starts getting tamed a little bit. There'll be many more regulations, and it won't be every year free agency. Once there's contracts in place, you can really start enforcing.
What does this mean for the mid-major, man? What is all that going to mean for the mid-major?
I don't know. Hey, give them some of your war chest, Pat. You got a lot of money. Give him some of your money.
I mean,
give JU $1 million, Pat, right now. Do it.
Can North Texas, North Alabama, they have $20 million to?
But again, I always come back to, should the University of Alabama fund North Alabama? I don't think so. I don't think so.
And that has been the crux of this argument for years now.
I don't think it's their place.
I agree. But I tell you, though, Pat brings up a good point, because now look, this is going to take care of itself somewhere down the line, because all three of us know there's going to be a meeting of the minds, and we're going to get this down to about 64 teams.
Sure, we are.
Sooner than later is the reality of it. Now, of all things, I've got a high school note that I want to bring.
What do you got?
Here.
What do you got? We went to high school. I graduated high school. I don't know if Pat did.
And I think both of you would appreciate this. In the state of Alabama, their public television, we've got these public TV channels, don't we, Pat?
Sure, yeah.
That we've got you've got Clifford the Big Red Dog on there in the afternoon, and you've got you've got National Geographic there on at night. Well, this is the AHSAA network. Now they have done for the last several years. They have done they've done what they call I think it's the Super Six, that the best teams that they find it out in Birmingham or wherever they play it, and they actually televise these games on. It's kind of like what Terry and I used to do, Pat.
Yeah, years ago. Yeah,
television. Well, they're going a step further with this, and the thing they're actually going to do is they're going to have if I read this right, it's going to be a game of the week on public TV. Listen, I've always thought here in football and basketball in this city, we ought to have a game of the week on some station. I don't know if it necessarily be public television or not, but I love this idea.
We tried. I remember trying to pitch that to the local Comcast for years and said, hey, y'all, and they have to do so much public broadcasting anyway by charter of the FCC right. and all, and you could never get them to commit. And you just could not get them. I like that. Maybe that'll become a model. Become a model.
Yeah. And also, I want to throw this in here too. All three of us would agree to this. This just came out too. The Florida Coaches Coalition, this is high school, okay, is confident that a bill is going to be brought before the State House and Senate in the next session that high school coaches will be paid $15 an hour, among other things. Now, I know $15 an hour sounds like what you buy, what you get paid at McDonald's,
right?
But what people need to understand here is this has been a battle for years. High school coaches in this area now, Pat, I know you played high school basketball, and look, it's different between private and public, but there's been a battle for years that the public, particularly the public coaches in high schools, they get a supplement that maybe, help me, Terry, $6,000 a year,
couple 4, 5, 6,000, yeah.
So what they've been trying to do now for years is to get this bumped up. Terry and I talked about this, Pat, several months ago, and it's now maybe coming to fruition. Is that that's not a lot of money, but it's sure better than what they're getting now.
Would that $15 an hour be in addition to their stipend, or could you make more? Could you make if they started turning in hours? That $15 an hour may make them much more than $4,000.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, you're not joking about
and Patrick,
that.
you're probably aware of this. A lot of our viewers may not be. Patrick, you are probably because of the great high school coaches you played for. High school coaches in the state of Florida, it's been notorious that we've lost a bunch of our good coaches right across the state line. Georgia pays a lot better.
Right.
A lot better. They're a lot more lenient. And we've lost coaches year after year right across the state line. We need to get that money settled. And Pat, man, Brent, man, high school coaches in all sports, man, they put in a lot of time. There's a lot to it, man. You're much more of a babysitter as well. College guys, they know what they're doing, and they're pro guys are pro guys. You're still babysitting these high school kids to a degree. Yeah. It's tough to not get paid much, and the hours they put in.
For sure.
Definitely. Pat, I don't know if you heard, Brent, we'll go back to you real quick with some notes here in the last 5 minutes. Pat, I made an announcement that came across from WRUF out of Gainesville. It appears Gary Condren, you know that name, Gary Condren, the baseball park's named after him down in Gainesville. Looks like Gary Condren has ponied up another $1 million to the basketball team and said, hey, for this big run they had. Gave basketball $1 million, Gary Condren. How about that?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Real cool. All right, Brent.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
That's going to buy like one player.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, better be a good one.
This program like one player.
Make him a good one. Make him a damn good one. Brent, more of your news and notes before we get out of here?
Yeah. Well, the thing I was going to add, people may not understand this. I've had more than one high school coach in this area tell me, he said, look, I'd love to go to Georgia. Now, get this, guys. If you go to Georgia and coach high school football, depending on where you go, you can make you can make six figures, and they'll give you a truck.
Yeah. A lot of those Georgia jobs too.
Wow.
You're not in a teaching position either.
That's correct.
A lot of those jobs.
Correct.
You're getting $100,000, an automobile, and you aren't teaching biology or English all day.
No.
You're a football coach or you're a basketball coach.
Yeah. Now, what they'll also say is the pressure to win in Georgia is enormous.
Yeah.
Because your touchdown clubs and things of that nature are involved with this a good bit. But look, that you and I both know coaches who went to Georgia just to get something better, and I'd love to see that happen here in Florida. Also, now we'll get into this more on Friday. Okay. But again, just to remind folks, we have several spring games Saturday: Florida, Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Tennessee, Miami. Florida State's not going to have one because of their stadium
issue. Yeah.
But and again, no television. Now the Alabama spring game I just learned today is actually going to be on the radio.
Okay.
Interesting. People hear it on the radio.
Interesting. You mentioned Florida State. We got 4 minutes left, and I want to get this back out. Brent, we talk about, and Pat, Florida's in such a high. Obviously, just won a national title. The Florida brand, man, FSU. They're scuffling around trying to get relevancy. You realize Florida won in baseball last night, so the Gators won the baseball. Sure the Gators won the baseball series, and you thought FSU was light years ahead of Florida in baseball this year. Florida won football, Florida won basketball, and they won the baseball series. Man, it's been a tough run for FSU athletics, high level.
And by the way, Florida also they won. Now Miami's not very good, but they won that series too.
Yeah.
So they won the Florida State Miami series. Now, Pat, tell me that means something to Gator fans. If
in
a down year too, Pat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Doesn't hurt.
You want to win the state every year.
It does hurt. Brent, any more notes? We got about 3 minutes.
Not at all.
Any more news and notes?
Yeah. Georgia's. We'll talk more about this later. They're a lot more excited about Georgia's wide receivers. Coming up for this year after last year, which let's be honest, the wide receivers weren't very good.
Right?
Yeah, dropped everything.
They led the nation.
Do they know how to drive?
Yeah.
Hopefully they do know how to drive.
Yeah,
definitely. Brent, anything else?
Yeah. For anybody tuning in late, Jaron Stevenson from Alabama. Pat may not have heard this. Stevenson's in the portal for Alabama, so he will go. And for Gator fans, and we mentioned this earlier too, Xavier Lee from Princeton, Florida, North Carolina, and St. John's. Florida may be the favorite for that.
Hot shot point guard, one of the best point guards. And Diabate from Alabama is going to Kentucky.
Yes.
Trey Johnson, Tennessee. Trey Johnson, Texas, is heading to the NBA draft. Man, he's a nice player. Guys, real quick, we're going to backtrack a little bit. 2 minutes left. About 2 minutes left. I'll be really interested to see how the dominoes would fall if Danny Hurley takes that Denver NBA job. Because all of a sudden, a damn good UConn job is open pretty late in the process, and I'd be curious to see how they'd fill that job.
Would they promote someone from within? I wonder.
Yeah.
But look, we have no idea who may apply for that job.
Yeah, and You know, my answer to every college job that opens up, the first guy I call is Jay Wright. Say, you want to get back in it?
Oh, yeah.
Jay, do you want to get back in it? This portal stuff is working itself out. You get a general manager, and you basically just coach basketball, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's a good job. It's a forgotten job because you just don't think of them as the blue blood with 6 titles, but they're a blue blood with 6 titles.
And listen, speaking of taking over, in the Houston situation, we know Dad's really good at coaching at University of Houston. My understanding is the coach in waiting there is his son.
Yeah, definitely.
So if he wanted to retire, that's a real – this is sermon on another day, but that's a real family situation there. About most of that family is associated with the basketball program one way or another.
And what a shame, 30 seconds left, what a shame that Bobby Hurley hasn't been more successful at Arizona State because that if Danny went to the NBA and Bobby was successful, if you're UConn, you tell Danny to call Bobby and bring, but he doesn't have the resume for that job. Brent, we're out of here, out of time. Let's do it again Friday. A lot of spring football to talk about going into this weekend. That'll wrap it up. For Brent Beard, Patrick Young, and Dr. Aaron Bates, I'm Terry Norvelle. We'll get together again tomorrow on the Young and Norvelle Show at 4 o'clock.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer. You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.